indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, guys, that was a good job. Everybody give your commander a round of applause. Yay! Do we have everyone here?
Yes.
Look around.
Hi, minasan imasu.
Excuse me?
Minasan imasu means everyone's here. Sorry. It's Japanese.
Oh, okay. Yeah, didn't we fight World War II about that? So we wouldn't speak German, speaking Sie Dutch? All right, okay, guys, you do this, and then immediately you come over here, and we will call up the content, and the cadets will be able to see what is displayed here, and then you go through the announcements. This is every day, all right? You're doing it today, you're doing this stuff tomorrow. You need to call them attention, and you assist him tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow we'll be going outside and doing some other things. Actually, I think we're going to be getting lockers and locks. And did y'all get all these shirts and uniforms yesterday?
Just uniforms.
Okay. Okay, so we'll be working. Oh, tomorrow we got to get books is what we need to get. Okay, so we will go from there. All right, so take a seat. Great job. Let me go through the announcements here, guys. If y'all are absent, you need to call up our website and go through our announcements. But every day they'll be changing this. Does anybody have any idea where this is?
Ireland.
Oh, Hawaii.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is the British Isles, because I flew over. I'm pretty sure this is a military installation here at the end, and I flew over that, and that's in England.
Did you fly over in a jet, or did you fly over their flying?
In a jet. I didn't jump out of a plane like that. Those are so. I'm not sure if those are American or those are British people. Okay, we have a birthday party on Monday afternoon, 4:30 to 6:30. It is what we call an open house or birthday party. We sing happy birthday to Asla. It's our 7th birthday, beginning of the 8th year. And it's 4:30 to 6:30. It doesn't cost you a penny. Just show up in your Asla t-shirt, your junior ROTC t-shirt, and all cadets. We're starting a program called Wingman. We're actually reintroducing it. We had it about 4 years ago. Everybody here, raise your hand who's a first year. Okay. Everybody here who's a first year will be assigned, hands down, a 2nd or 3rd or 4th year to be your wingman, and vice versa. So everybody who's a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th year here will have maybe somebody in this class, maybe somebody you don't know. But the idea is to look after each other and help each other for the first year. So you'll meet your wingmans on Monday. You'll have free food. We'll have food, and we'll have cake. We'll have name tags. You bring your parents. You bring your siblings. Anybody in middle school below, I get free pencils too, because I got a lot of free pencils. So anyway, it's a great time. So it's for your parents that don't know what our world is about. Please bring them, or your guardians, or grandpas, or grandmas. I don't care. We have a great time. We need a head count. How many people in this room might be able to come? This is not required. It's just fun. Might be able to come the 4:30, and really the ceremony's at 5, but we're eating and having a good time the whole time. All right, so Todd, stand up and give me a number. Okay.
Gabe, high five. 17.
17. Okay, and how about family? How about this? Hold up your finger if it's one, just you, and hold up your finger if it's more, and then go through. Everybody, hold up.
I'm a big fan.
Because like I'm bringing my son and family or whatever. So count, give me a number.
6. I'm bringing 7. I'm bringing 8.
Quiet, please.
Your sister?
Probably me.
Dad?
7.
Okay, 28.
28? Okay, hands down, please. So we'll say 30 for this class. All right. Okay, and the idea is to go have fun, meet somebody you don't know. You'll be surprised. We have about 200 cadets in the ROTC, so there could be a lot of people that you don't even know that is in ROTC. It'll be a fun time. It's one of the special treats about being ROTC. I buy you cake and food, okay? All right, we have community service throughout the whole year. We have a cadet that's in charge of it, Cadet Norcus. She's going to be putting up community service notices like this on the announcements. if you want to go, you may go and do stuff. If you want to do your community service by yourself at your church or in your neighborhood, do it. You just have to turn the piece of paper in by the end of the quarter to get 10% credit on your community service. Yes, sir.
For people that don't know, it's like you can still use, like community service you got over the summer, you can use for the first quarter, right? So
Read the piece of paper. It says from May 31st till October 4th or something like that, okay? But anyway, this is an example. So if you want to do this, you can just read the thing. Ms. Rivera is here in the local area. Uniform pickup, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year students. You need to go pick up your blues like now. Okay, so go into the other ROTC and set it up. Yes, ma'am.
During second lunch, can we go in and sign for our uniforms or no?
Yes, I mean, you're a first year this year, right?
Second year.
Second year, okay, yes, go do it.
There was a class going on, so.
Okay, well, come on and interrupt me. That's our PE class that you were in. Yeah, so just go in there and interrupt and make it happen. No problem. Okay, we want you to do it because yes, you want you to pick it up. Okay, so you sign up for the ability to come pick up your uniforms. We're not doing it during class. We're doing it during APT or after school. Cadet Vocal, Cadet Beaupre are in charge of that. And if you're a first year, the question came up is how do you earn your uniform for first year? And the answer is you earn it the first quarter and you start wearing it the second quarter. And there's specific guidelines on that. In grades, you need to make an A or B in my class, and you need to do community service 10 hours during the first quarter to show that you're a motivated cadet. And then also you need to volunteer with color guard or honor guard and earn your uniform. I do need TAs. Anybody here wants to be a TA for 2nd, 5th, and 7th hours? So come talk to me outside of it. And I really need females, actually, because I have PEs that I cannot go in the girls' bathroom. Can you believe that? So I can't make sure that they're not being a fool in there.
That makes no sense.
Okay, and there we're having a uniform class, and basically these are second-year cadets that need to know how to wear their uniforms. And there's the upcoming class there in September. If you have a question, second-year cadets, about how to wear a uniform, where do you find that information? Where exactly? PrescottJRots.com, bottom left, student handbook, okay? Cadet handbook. All right, flight commander class, August when does that say? No, 8 August 13. 8 August 13. When is 8th August?
8th of August, 2013.
But when is that? That's tomorrow, right?
Today is the 8th, sir.
Oh, okay. All right, there we go. Uniform of the day, T-shirts Monday, but the point is you wear your T-shirt to the party and you get credit for wearing T-shirts on the party also. That's full credit, full credit. We do that a lot. Okay, so Commander Cadet Todd, you see how that works? Yes. That go was really slow because we'll go really fast. And again, either you or Cadet move and make it happen, okay? Yes, sir. All right, sounds great. Everyone, stand up and go to the back. Actually, how about number 4s from the group? Go back and get Science of Flight books for everybody.
We have 16.
Well, sure. You can sit down if you'd like. Cody,
Yes, sir.
this is my recorder, and I don't want you to mess it up. Don't hit it with your big foot like you just did. All right, here we go. You're going to push go on this, which is right there. We're ready to stand by. We're trying to record. And I want it to be just like this so that it catches the back as well as we can. Okay?
Alright, so it's gonna say, when you press the button, it's gonna go halfway fine. And you want me to keep like that.
Yep, and then at the end, when I say game's over, and turn off that recording, we'll do this one, okay? All right, everybody sit down, open up your book.
So when you say game's over, press the off.
Exactly. All right. All righty, what we're going to do here, people, just actually before we start the Science of Flight, what I want to do is go over briefly about you being online. About 60 or 80% of you guys are online now, which I really appreciate. Why don't you go ahead and push that, please? And so what I want to show you on the screen behind me is how I'm keeping track of when you get online. When you get online, push over here good. Okay? So how about everybody sort of look up on the overhead. Arietta, Cadet Barrio, so you're online? Okay? And the way I know you're online is I can actually track it because I have an email that is prescottjrotzi.ms@gmail.com. And every time you submit something, look, Perry Reed, where's he? Yay, Perry! Everybody around Perry, round of applause! I know that at 9:57 last night he was working hard for Colonel Peoples. That makes me happy. Joey Johnson is another cadet that's taking it, actually going to be teaching the leadership lab. So you can see I can really monitor everything you do on this class because an email is sent to me when you submit stuff. If you don't hit the save button or the submit button, I don't get an email. Instead, I can go online here and look at how everything is going. And as a teacher, I can go to participants. And how about, let's talk about your leaders. How about that? How about Cadet Todd? Let's go to T's here. And I can see, are you online, Cadet Todd? You believe so? Yes, sir. Believe so. Okay, so here's the T's. And the answer is yes. 1 day and 15 hours he was on. Give me a high five. Yeah, everybody give a round of applause. All right. How about, let's see here. How about Cadet Van Boeven? Are you online?
I don't believe so, sir.
The answer is no, sir, because as you can see behind me, you have never been online. Colonel Peoples is sad. You don't like me or my class. How about Cadet Vowell? Where is he? Yay! Everybody give him a round of applause. All right, so 12 hours ago he was online. Cadet Van Boeven, what is the problem?
I was so busy last night, I hardly had any time.
Okay, I understand you're very busy. But if we don't get online, we don't pass the class, right? And as of Monday, you'll be a week behind because we've already got it. So anyway, is everybody look at this spreadsheet that I have? And oops, where did I go? That's not a spreadsheet. I'm looking to see if we are online, and I guess I can go to, is anybody having, who here, I had a couple people, Johnston.
Sir.
You said you had problems getting online, right?
I got on, I was able to log in yesterday, but I wasn't able to do anything, and then
Did it say you were not enrolled?
it didn't say anything like that, it just...
Okay, Andrew Johnston says you've never been online.
I logged in yesterday, I started changing all the, well, I did it the day before yesterday and changed all the passwords and everything, and then I tried doing it earlier today after I talked to you this morning.
Well, probably because it was changed to Johnston and they reset the password.
Yes, sir.
So use that password, okay? Who else? Raise your hand, because a couple of you guys can't find. What about you?
I can't get on.
Are you using the, what log on are you using?
My first name dot last night.
Okay, all these problems, come see me today during APT. Everybody else? So Thine, who else? Cody? Okay, come see me today. Let's line up here after APT and I'll show you how to get online. So everybody else needs to be online, okay? All right, super duper. All right, yes sir.
You said APT time that we could, second years, third years could come and get their blues.
You gotta go sign up. So after school or whatever, you can go sign up, and yeah, they do that. Excellent. Okay, guys, this is the beginning of our Science of Flight curriculum. Okay, and my overview. Open up our fancy shiny books. You are the first class, the first people to do it. Yes, sir.
When are we ever going to get our pictures in our ROTC?
Probably not in your lifetime. I have tried to be a volunteer, to be an editor on this stuff, and they've not enjoyed my intellect as much as I have enjoyed it. Ha ha ha. All right, so why don't we turn to the table of contents, and I'm going to basically flip through here and show you guys the big picture. There are 4 chapters in this book, and there are 4 quarters in the school year. So about every quarter, we're going to go over an entire chapter, okay? And so the way this works is look at chapter 1, lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to the How Planes Fly. We're going to be covering lessons 1 to 6 in the next 2 weeks. This is week 1. Next week is week 2. You have 9 weeks and a quarter. Your test will be in the 4th week. So in 4 weeks, we're going to go through these 6 lessons, and then we're stopping aerospace science for this quarter. The second part of the quarter will be straight out of our leadership education book. Okay, this is what everybody in the whole ROTC is doing. In the first chapter, we're going to talk about principles of flight, physics of flight. You're going to learn some weird words that you've never heard. This has to do with the aerodynamics of flight. Camber, chord, angle of attack, relative wind. It's the secret of flight. It's why we fly. You've got to know this. Chapter 2 there, working through flight conditions. We'll be going in quarter 2, this is after October, we'll be going through basically details of weather and how it affects you flying. I plan on having multiple trips to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University for this class. For my hybrid students online, we'll be meeting there on Monday afternoons. And for you guys, I plan on taking you certainly to the weather shop at Embry-Riddle. We send some of our cadets there about every other year to major in weather. But it's a fabulous weather department, and they're going to teach you about this stuff, as I am, okay? And you're going to come out of here knowing a lot more than you know about weather. You're going to say, why does the wind blow? You'll know that, okay? Chapter 3, this is where it kind of gets a little different. There on page 6 in the book, talks about the human body and getting from here to there. Human body in flying is physiology, and that changes a lot when you're flying. How does your body? Has anybody ever hiked up on the top of Mount Humphreys Peak in Arizona? What'd you feel like when you're up there?
Tall, sir.
Tall. How tall is that mountain we can see out our back door here?
Is it 13,000 feet?
I think it's about between 12 and 13. I don't know what the number is. I know it's over 12. But yeah, it's pretty high. And if you're up there without oxygen, you generally feel lightheaded. Okay, there you go. And I was up there with my wife. We actually saw people having problems. What if you go up to 40,000 feet?
You die.
Well, actually, the number is like the death zone of Mount Everest. Mount Everest is 29,000 feet. So you get above 20,000 feet and you have potential problems. Yes, sir?
When you actually get to about 26,000 feet on Mount Everest, or very halfway to the top, this is when they say you actually have to start using oxygen.
They recommend it. People still do it without oxygen. But that's what I'm going to be teaching you right here. Flying from human body, the physiology of air flight, and the protective equipment we use. I flew using all the protective equipment when I was flying jets. I've done it, and I will show you. I'll let you try on my helmets and my G suits and my cool stuff. That is quarter 3. That is after Christmas. Okay? Then, in quarter 3, because we do something special, we will probably go straight through in quarter 3 and do navigation also. So you have chapter 4, probably towards the end of quarter 3, like in March, right before spring break, we're going to talk about navigation. I love navigation. I mean, I just always thought it was fun to play with maps when I was a kid. When I was in the Pentagon, I was in charge of about $290 million a year, which paid for the GPS system of America. All the GPSs, everything that runs out of your cell phones. Who controls those satellites up there? America! What part of America? Homeland Security?
United States.
All states.
Who? Who pays for these GPS?
You do.
Well, you do, of course.
Oh, you did. You said you did.
The United States Air Force the United States Air Force provides free navigation to the world with an accuracy of about 10 feet. It depends on where you are. But can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine? Everybody gives America grief for everything, but we're allowing them to drive their cars for free navigation to the world because of GPS. And I was in charge of it for about a year and a half, the money of it. And I can certainly understand the details of it. I'll teach you a lot about GPS. We'll teach you a lot about navigation. We'll teach you a lot about flying. And also, depending on how depending on how good you guys are, we always have a fun project. Does anybody know what geocaching is?
Yes. It's
Guess what? I got 40 GPSs that's in your hand, the old-timey GPSs. The whole GPS is this big. And I'll give them to you guys, and they're geocaches within walking distance of Preston High School. And we'll go out and have a competition, and we'll see if you guys can find it. So that's to look forward on a good day, good weather day, and probably a little bit after spring break. And then, guess what? After chapter 4, we're finished with this book, right? So we throw it away. And what we do is the beginning of spring of fourth quarter, and this is like April 1st, I am going to get everyone here invited to go to Embry-Riddle, and I've done it in 3 days or 4 days, we'll see. But what we'll do is we'll go here to Embry-Riddle, and you'll actually be trained and then evaluated as a crash scene investigator. What does that mean? It means when you have a FAA plane crash, how does it crash?
from the sky.
From the sky, but why? And that, believe it or not, Embry-Riddle has a crash lab that you drive by all the time. You don't even know it's there. And they have about a dozen planes that are crashed on the ground. And they have it set up so you go and we'll teach you why this plane crashed, and we'll set you in a group, and then you need to go investigate this crash and see why it crashed. And then we'll be doing presentations. You'll be doing PowerPoints. We'll be filming you. We'll be putting you on YouTube. It's a whole culmination of the entire class. Because the reason planes crash are because of the physics, the physiology. People have a heart attack. People make mistakes. People read the instruments wrong. The weather gets bad. We talked about the weather. The navigation gets bad. Yeah. Did you know a World War II bomber was flying at 10,000 feet from California to New Mexico? Right? You can do that, right? How high are your feet right now? How high is that ground right there?
It's pretty level.
6,000. Okay? So you take off from California at sea level, you climb up 10,000 feet, we're going to fly across Arizona. No big deal. 10,000 feet, right? What is in Arizona above 10,000 feet?
That would be the mountains.
The mountains we just talked about. And so there is a World War II bomber that ran smack into the San Francisco peaks and killed a dozen people because they couldn't navigate. And I'm going to teach you how to navigate. Okay? So that is the culmination of this class will be in April, where we actually go to Embry-Riddle and have a great time. And you'll see I'm a Air Force safety investigator. And I was the Air Force Safety School. I used to teach there, as well as the Royal Air Force, the British safety school. So I've done that, and I've investigated some crashes that I'll teach you about. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. But it all starts here with the principles of flight. Tell you what, I'm going to have number twos. Come see me. Number twos, take one of these test packs. This is a pre-test, is what it's called. I want your group to get around and answer these questions.
Thank you.
And you have 4 minutes to answer these questions. As a group, talk, pair, share.
Well, it's in here, right?
Yes, ma'am. Right on it. This is your piece of paper.
What number? What nationality were they? Oh, well then they're kind of. No, it's right here. What nationality were your brothers who built the first hot air balloon? Aerodynamic characteristics of hydrogen.
Mark on there, guys. That is your piece of paper.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. 45.
Airfoil is called E, leading what how many wings do French
How many wing shapes did the Wright brothers have? I thought it was more than that.
Yes, sir. Excuse me? Do you have your student handbook?
Did you find it on page 6?
Yes.
Fill it out. Come here. Yes. Yes.
Right here, this is there.
I see it. Aerodynamic.
That looks
Yes, you never know. Or we'll skip it. How many wingtips did the Wright brothers test in their wind tunnel? Right, brother? 25, 152.
Your name on here? Put your name on here, please. I don't know who's signing.
So the wing is going to 120.
Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. Just to answer all the questions, guys. 1 minute. Need to have an answer on all 10 of them. Just put an answer on all 10 of them, guys.
So yours?
They what the resulting movement, lack of movement, and
So we only went up.
Yeah.
The wing weighs 0 pounds.
The plane takes off and it's your fault. It's just air pressure.
All right, let the forwards bring the chest up here, please. Need answers on all of them. Put your number of your table on the top, please. Number of the top. Your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put them in order. 1 through 7, right there, please.
I'm on
In order. 1 through 7.
So 2.
What table number are you? Okay.
yeah, it's like
Right over here. 1 through 7. Do you have it 1 through 7? Listen to my words. Is that 1 through 7? Do Did you, or is it in proper order, 1 through 7?
Sure.
6 is right here. 5, 6, 7.
Okay, open your books, please. 2-page, lesson 1, page 4, actually. Okay, principal flights. Well, this is the chapter 1 that you'll have a test on in 3 weeks. In week 4, basically we're going to go over the principles of flight, the physics, the purpose and functions of all the parts. Most all airplanes are exactly the same. I mean, everything. Matter of fact, look over here on the wall. Do you see the wall there? The Wright brothers shot the plane there? Yep. G. That's the first plane. That's the first flight. Okay, pretty amazing. That's the first plane, the first flight. And now look above Cadet Arrieta's head. Look at the B-2 bomber, the B-52. All those planes have the exact same forces on them as the original Wright brother flight. It's kind of crazy. Crazy. Right above Cadet Hetherington's head there is F-4s. Those are original fighters that I flew that are Vietnam workhorses. All those exact same parts of the plane are similar on all the planes, all the way back to the Wright brothers, except for one instance, which I'll tell you about. Okay? So again, we're going to talk about all the parts, the motion and control. How did the Wright brothers actually figure out how to fly? How did they discover the mystery of flight? Yes, sir.
Isn't it that the government was trying to cover up the stealth bomber until like 1956?
The stealth bomber was not covered up. It was in a black program, which means that we did not acknowledge it. It was secret. And it wasn't 56. It went from about, I think it was about the 80s until about the 2000s.
Because I read report, I was looking up on the internet about how they said everybody kept saying it was aliens coming down, but they were actually seeing stealth.
Let me tell you a secret in life. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Okay? You can believe most of the stuff you read in here, okay, because this is historical fact. But the B-2 bomber, as far as I know, didn't have anything to do with aliens, okay? So I'm here to tell you. All righty, so in this book, and actually it's on page 5, when you see the word vocabulary, everybody see that? Vocabulary. Guess what is going to be on the test? Because you need to be able to speak the language. I'm teaching you the very basics of aerodynamics, the theory of flight, airfoils. Need to know about an old man named Bernoulli. Anybody ever heard of Bernoulli? Yes, sir. Well, who do you think he was?
He was like one of the people who like made a law about flight.
Law about flight? Exactly. He's an old white-haired man just like me. Okay? He lived a little longer. Relative wind. Why do planes fly? Why do planes fall out of the sky? It has a lot to do with relative wind and angle of attack. What is a stall? Does anybody know what a stall is? Yeah. Yes, go ahead, Hetherington.
When your engine turns off?
Thank you very much for playing. Try something else. Yes, get it off.
When you go up to where it's not getting like oxygen, the engine or something like that, and then it like stalls out.
Well, that is much closer than engine turning off, but that is halfway there. Yes, sir. That is when the plane stops flying as a stall. Okay, and we're going to get there. Okay, doesn't have anything to do with the engine. Doesn't have anything to do with flying up. It's just when the plane stops aerodynamically flying and having the Bernoulli effect that is the miracle of flight. Okay, we're going to talk about that. All right, right now, I want y'all to put your attention up here. Let me see if I can get the audio going. And I'm going to show you a quick video about a cool guy.
Here comes the gear. Get it down, get it down. It seems appropriate that so many space shuttle flights should end here, at the Edwards Air Force Base in the Mojave Desert, because it was also here that Americans first began riding rockets to the stars in the late 1940s. In those days, this place was an Army base called Muroc. The hottest thing in this desert was a rocket plane called the X-1, and the pilot was a young Air Force officer named Chuck Yeager, who was destined to become the world's greatest test pilot.
It was a hectic period. A lot of new breakthroughs coming up and a lot of emphasis on speed, and we were developing weapon systems during that time period.
These were the years immediately after World War II. Yeager's success as a fighter pilot had made him a living legend. From 1943 to 1945, he shot down 13 enemy aircraft, 5 in one mission, including one of Germany's new jet planes. He was only 22 years old. After the war, America began designing planes to fly faster than the speed of sound. All previous attempts to fly this fast had failed, and many pilots had died. Experts thought that this sound barrier was impossible to break, but not Chuck Yeager.
We really didn't know, but there's no way of finding out unless you try, and that's the way we looked at it.
On October 14, 1947, Yeager piloted the X-1 to a speed of more than 660 miles per hour, or Mach 1. He became the first man to break the sound barrier.
And in the day we broke Mach 1, of course, we opened up an entirely new era. And then nothing left. No more barriers right on into space, and we were quite happy about it.
Yeager's record-breaking flight launched us into a new age. The race for space was on, and while America's attention was focused on the Mercury astronauts, Yeager was quietly setting new records.
And really, I didn't know and could care less about the space program in that I didn't have a degree. And that was one of the prerequisites required for the astronaut program. And so besides, I like to fly, and capsule riding was not flying to me.
Chuck Yeager continued to test fly new aircraft, pushing them to their limits and beyond. One slight mistake out here could cost you your life, but to him, the risk was just part of the job.
That's the way you look at it. You know, if you can talk about it, it's really not that important.
On October 14th, 1940.
Yeager's exploits have made him a national hero and the subject of a new movie, The Right Stuff. The central character in the film is a young Chuck Yeager, played by Sam Shepard. Yeager worked closely with the actor to prepare him for this role. Because the movie deals with the early days of spaceflight, the filmmakers called on Yeager's expertise to recreate these historic flights as accurately as possible. But to retired Brigadier General Yeager, the real-life drama was much different.
Most things like that we look at as just a job, but you can't sell that kind of an attitude in a book or a movie, so it has to be flowered up a little bit, and that's the way it goes.
An ordinary fella. But to Hollywood and the American public, Yeager is a national hero whose career as a pilot is the symbol of skill and bravery, a shining example of what Tom Wolfe called the right stuff, the stuff of which movies are made.
Okay, so the reason that we acknowledge, of course, the Air Force loves Chuck Yeager, is because he was technically in the Air Force. When did the Air Force start?
After World War II.
Some of you guys should know this. Yeah, after World War II. So my dad worked on, bomber planes in World War II in England. Was he in the Air Force? No, he's in what? Army Air Corps, exactly. Then after World War II, in September 18th, 1947, Air Force started. Oh, by the way, guys, my ROTC, we have an Air Force party coming up. We'll have an Air Force field day. We'll have a fun time in September. My cadets will run the show there. But what happened in September 1947, the Air Force became a brand new military force. And then within 1 month, Chuck Yeager broke the speed of sound. So that's why they said on there he was a part of the Air Force. He wasn't just an Army guy. So it was a very proud time for the Air Force. Okay, what we want to do now is called a think, pair, share. So I need y'all to get out a piece of paper. Oh, by the way, everybody should have a 1-inch binder for my class, which I will start hammering you for. 1-inch binder, great. Pull it out. Write down 2 or 3 or 4 things that Chuck Yeager had to learn, or what kind of experiences did he have to do to accomplish all he did. So we're going to have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to write this down. And then we're going to share this with your shoulder partner. Okay? 2 minutes starting now. Be quiet. Think about what Chuck Yeager, what could be his background, what could be his experience we talked about that could actually allow him to accomplish the goals that he did. About a minute to go. What kind of education did he need? What kind of personal characteristics did he have to do things like this? Ten seconds. Okay, everybody turn to their shoulder partner and discuss. You guys have five, three, please get together and discuss some of the characteristics they had and see what you come up with. What would you need to do if you were Chuck Yeager to accomplish what he had?
Training.
That would be schematic control second year. It says here. Huh? I did? Yeah, it says here. 50 seconds. Schematic control. Yeah, but can't. No, he died.
Okay, time. Let's go to table 6. Talk to us about number 3. Person number 3 on table 6. Tell us about what y'all learned. Well, that's partly right, correct. Back then, this is 70 years ago, 60 years ago, 65 years ago. Not all pilots had to go be in college. I did, but he even said it, I think, was this the video? He said, I didn't have the education to be an astronaut. He didn't have a degree. So he had to have money to learn how to fly, and actually the military taught him. So that's a good point. But back then, he's probably the last general. That's a good question. The last general not to have a college degree because he's so famous. Okay, but he had to learn how to fly. How was the experience in flying? Where did he get his experience in flying? Working on planes. That was truly mechanic. He was a mechanic first. Yeah, he knew how planes were taken. Then where else did he get a lot of good experience flying? Army Air Corps, World War II. What did he do in World War II? Oh, by the way, guys, right here. I mean, this is the page, okay? Page 4 and 5. What did he do in World War II? There you go. He's very skilled, right? He's an ace, a flying ace. An ace in the military is if you actually shoot down 5 enemy combat planes. Was there ever an ace in Desert Storm?
No.
No. We had some of my acquaintances, my buddies, that actually shot down 1 or 2 planes, but nobody shot down 5. okay? Because it was about Desert Storm was not a big war compared to World War II, okay? But anyway, he had a lot of good experience, and then also he had a lot of good support team. This didn't go into it, but one of his dear friends was a engineer who helped plan the whole, pursuit trying to get to the speed of sound. How fast is the speed of sound?
600 miles.
It depends on your altitude, depends on the density, but 600, 660 is about it. Yes. The F-15, the F-4 are all supersonic planes. I would go supersonic over water. You wouldn't ever want to do it over land because you have the sonic boom. And Chuck Yeager had the first sonic boom. It's a compressibility of the air after you go through the speed of sound. Flying jets, you do it every day. You don't even think about it, but you do it over water so that the boom doesn't disturb anybody on the ground. You can break windows. It's not a good thing. And actually, as a test, I wasn't a test pilot, but I would check out planes once they had broken. And so I actually would take the planes up to Mach 2, which at altitude would be up as fast as 1,200 miles an hour. So I actually have a videotape of myself going 1,200 miles an hour. 1,200, think about it, 1,200 miles an hour. If 600 miles an hour, how many miles do you go in a minute? It's 600 miles an hour. 600 divided by 60, you go 10 miles a minute, right? 10 miles a minute. That's pretty fast. So that's a mile every 6 seconds, right? So that's Mach 1, mile every 6 seconds. What about Mach 2?
2 miles every 3 seconds.
1 mile every 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, just 1 mile. That's pretty fast. And actually, these fighters that we fly, that's the highest speed that they're designed to go at. And things get kind of squirrely at that point. I was scared. It was not fun to go Mach 2. Okay, theory of flight. One of your questions is, was the earliest recorded case of a human being successfully flying? When would that be?
Brothers.
Look on page 6. Getting off the ground, flying off the ground. When was the first man flying kites? Yes, sir. Cadet Milusnik.
Human being successfully flying with the aid of the mechanism is found in the Chinese book in AD 630.
I mean, a long time ago. Okay, a long time ago. You would never know that. Montgolfier brothers. What country would they come from? Yes, sir.
They were from France.
Exactly. That's a French name. Exactly. So really, in coming up to the Wright brothers in the 20th century, 1900s, there'd been a lot of theory of flight going on. They did not invent the whole idea. Okay. An airfoil. You need to know what an airfoil is. Why do planes fly? I mean, baby, why does the wind blow? Why do planes fly? Why do birds fly? This is it, guys. Birds' wings, every one of those planes' wings have a airfoil that changes the direction of the air so that it produces lift. We're going to learn this. If I'm sitting there and ask you on a test, what is a chord? That's one of your words. What is a chord or what is a camber? Look at this picture. What do you think? Let's say on the bottom of page 7, right? Somebody, raise your hand. What is a camber? What is a camber? Yes, Cadet Smith.
Airfoil.
It's the curve, right? Camber curve, real easy. What about a chord? A chord line, C-H-O-R-D. What is that? Yes, ma'am. Cadet Moore.
The straight line between the foremost and the hindmost points of an airfoil.
It just means, yeah, you see the picture there. You draw a line from the front to the end, and that's the chord. Yes, sir. Cadet Van Mooven.
I was going to answer the question.
Excuse me?
I was going to answer the question.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you had your hands up. All right. Everybody stand up, please. This is going to be difficult. We're going to play the balloon game here. Okay? Yay! Everybody come call threes. Come and get balloons. Threes. Get balloons. Move away from your desk. Hold your arms together. You have 20 seconds to keep the balloons up. And you're going to ask me why, but guess what? We are doing this. This is what the guys did originally. Think about why the balloons go down. Okay, arms together. Y'all know this game? Y'all know this game? No. I'm sorry. Well, everybody grab arms. Get away from. You got to get away from the desk. Get over here on the side. There you go, Keith. Hands. Grab hands. Grab hands. Grab hands together and keep the balloons up in the middle of your circle. All right, ready, start, go. Try to use your feet, your arms. How many times can you hit it? About 0, right? You got to go over there, guys. My leg's too short for this. I got it. All right, everybody down. Give a round of applause. Yay! I need the balloons up here so we can use them for more intelligent devices like that, okay? Excellent job. Excellent job. That wake you up? This is part of your aerodynamic study, guys. This is part of the aerodynamic study. All right, why was the balloon falling?
Because the gravitational pull.
Well, why does a hot air balloon rise? You guys are just brilliant. Look at here. We had 1783. How long is that? 230 years ago, somebody sat around a campfire and saw ashes climbing and go, why are those ashes going up when balloons fall, or at least fall? And somebody figured out that hot air rises. And so these guys, these Frenchmen, were rich, and they built a huge balloon and put a fire underneath it, and guess what?
French guys.
They took off. It was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. The balloons did not fall. Well, how come yours didn't take off?
Because we didn't have hot
Because we
air.
didn't have hot air.
Ours took off.
Are y'all hot in here? Hot in here?
We were hot.
Hot in here? You were hot? Yes, hot air rises. I promise you, if you go up there to the top of that, that's 20 feet high. I bet you go up there, it's going to be hotter than right here, right? And your balloons fell because you did not have helium, or you did not have hot air like these guys did.
What makes helium rise?
What makes helium rise? It's lighter than air. There you go. All right, great. We're going to pause here until Monday, because then we're going to go through something called wind tunnels. You're going to read all this by Monday. So how about number ones? Please pick up the books and put them in the back properly. Cody, you can stop that.
Yes, sir.